Hello, good morning, everyone, or afternoon or evening, whenever you're watching this video. For me, it is Saturday morning, and I'm very, very happy about that. I'll be going out with my daughter today and I don't know, I think I want to kick it around in downtown Philadelphia and just have a good time today. So today I want to say thank you for all the new subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. Much love, much love. I am going to start doing something because I wanted to start giving you guys some of I guess I would say, some of the gear from the Happy Lifers collection. And I would like to start gifting you guys some of these things and also invite you to look at the store on Etsy, Happy Life, Better Life. That shop is spelled Lyfe instead of Life. So Happy Life, Lyfe, Better Life, Lyfe. So let's get into it. Today, I just kind of wanted to um, reach out and let you know about some things that have been going on with me, because when we're starting over and we are charting out a new path in this journey, sometimes there's ups and downs, sometimes there's highs and lows. And I just wanted to tell you where I am in this journey. So basically, it is now, this is, I want to say, February 2024. February 2024. I left my job in May of 2023. I had been working for the school district for about 10 years, and I just was not happy doing what I was doing. And I decided that I would try something different, that I would drastically make a drastic change. Um, my father was not happy about the change. Um, my father's generation, of course, is like, you get in a job, you stay in that job, and then you retire from that job. But I didn't do that. Um, I could have done that. And honestly, I listened to people all the time talking about what they were going to do when they retired. They couldn't wait till they retired. And then I had a friend of mine who worked for the same school district, and she retired and then she died a week later. And I knew people who didn't even make it to retirement. I can think of at least three people right now that I worked with. One who died from COVID, one who died from cancer. They had like a few more years to go till retirement, and they got cancer and became very ill and ended up, having to go on disability and things like that. And I think they probably battled with cancer for like a year or so. And I knew of another person, they planned it out so perfectly. It was a husband and wife. They both retired like at the same time, and probably, I want to say, within maybe like a month of each other, maybe 2 months of each other. And one of the spouses got cancer. The wife, she got cancer, but they did fight it, and she, did come through it. But all of this said to me, don't wait. Don't wait until you retire to live your life. Because right now, you're young enough to do some of the things that you want to do. You have plans, you have dreams. And so I decided to go about reaching for those dreams. I had started as a writer for a online magazine, and I enjoy doing that very much. Maybe at some point I'll share some of the articles with you guys that I did. Some of them are very interesting, controversial, because I kind of like to tackle hard topics sometimes, or research things. So I love to research. So I did that. So anyway, I started doing that probably about 2021, and I did it for almost 2 years. And then I I've always wanted to be a published author. So I worked on one book years ago, which I still have yet to publish, and I completed two children's books this year. And I'm also publishing a book on mental health, but it's not exactly like what you would expect. It's called My Unfiltered Subconscious, and it's dealing with me addressing my own mental health challenges while dealing with my son's um, mental health diagnosis, and how trying to be strong, trying to be superwoman, trying to do all these things almost led to a mental health crisis for myself because I was not taking care of myself. And then one morning I woke up and I literally couldn't get out of the bed. And I knew I had to reach out for help and I had to address my own mental health challenges at that point because I was so stressed, and it started manifesting in my body physically. So, anyway, I decided to leave my job in May, and initially I was going to move to North Carolina. And what I was going to do, the plan was to move to North Carolina and basically start doing the same thing that I was already doing in Altoona. And then I realized that that would not make me the happiest because I was just relocating, but I was going to do the same thing. So I decided that I would embark on trying to start my own business. I did start the Etsy shop. I did start working on publishing my books. And then I decided to try to do a business with a friend. And if you watched other videos of mine, then you know that that business, the partnership, did not work out. And we ended up dissolving the LLC. They just didn't want to do the partnership anymore, which I totally respect. At the time, I was kind of devastated. I was hurt. I was frustrated because the money that I was going to use to move, I had put into trying to start this business up, and then to have it not produce anything. It was like money that I wasted. So I wasn't really happy about that. But then guess what? I learned in the long run, you know, we can chart out a course. We can chart out a path, and people say that God laughs at our plans. I don't believe that. Don't take that stuff into your subconscious that we can make our plans, but God laughs at our plans. That's such negative thinking. It really is. No, things don't always go according to plan. But the thing is, I took the chance, I leaped, and I jumped, and I just landed somewhere different. So right now, what I am doing, I'm still in the process of figuring it out, but I can't say that I'm not enjoying the ride. I can't say that I haven't enjoyed the time that I've had with my family, the time that I've been able to spend with friends, if it was going to lunch, if it was catching up. I can't say that I haven't enjoyed being in control of my time. Now I just have to figure out how to finance that. Now I just have to, figure out how to do that and still pay bills. you know. So at any rate, it hasn't been, it hasn't been, well, honestly, I mean, I was going to say it hasn't been easy, but it hasn't been hard either. It's been a little bit challenging. Thankfully, my son still lives with me. And so this was a time when he actually stepped up and he started, fully paying the rent because I didn't really require much from him when he was living with me and I was working and stuff like that. I would ask him to maybe, do a certain amount a month. And eventually, honestly, my plan was to start putting that aside for him so that when he was ready to, move out again on his own and do certain things, that I would have something that I could help him with in that regard. So anyway, but he has stepped up, and that's been wonderful. The other thing is that um, even with me going through this process, and I know you've probably noticed, I've cut my hair, and no, it's not this gray. It's actually I have stuff that's drying, but I wanted to hurry up and do this video, so I didn't care about it. So anyway, the path has been different, but there's been things that have been expected and things that weren't expected. But all of it's been good. I can't complain about it. I'm happy. I'm peaceful. I'm content. I don't feel this pressure. I don't hate Mondays. I don't live for Fridays anymore. I used to live for Fridays. I just couldn't wait to get to Friday because I couldn't wait to not have to go to work or go to my job on Saturday and Sunday. That's really how it was. And it wasn't that my job was so horrible, but I wasn't doing any of the things that made me happy. And the majority of my time was spent doing something that I just didn't want to do anymore. So I made that change. But this is what I want to tell you, that a lot of times people in their 40s and 50s come to a place where they're not doing what's just been expected of them anymore. They begin to do the things that really give them intrinsic value, give them genuine joy, peace, and comfort, things that they're good at, that they've always wanted to do. And it's not always easy to do that. I mean, honestly, I've been thinking about becoming a professional hobo or wanderer, expat, someone who travels. And at first, I wanted to really do it internationally. I wanted to do it, I don't know. I thought about going to other countries and things like that, but also I thought about being within the States and traveling to different states that I've never been to, and trying to work remotely. That's what I've really been trying to do, work remotely, so that I can take my job with me wherever I am. That's my greatest desire at this point, to be able to move freely, still work, still earn income. I would love it if my books end up becoming bestsellers and I could actually derive income from that. I would love it if the Etsy shop took off and all those things, because I love designing for my Etsy shop, and I love putting products out there. And basically, that's sort of my plan at this moment. But, stay tuned. See what happens. See what comes of it. Also, I want to say I'm going to do a vision board, but for some reason this year, love is really on my mind. And I have someone that I'm involved with, and I figure this year it's either going to move forward or it's going to dissolve probably. And maybe we'll just continue to be great friends, because that's another thing that's important to me. And the reason why I say it'll either move forward, because right now we're in different states. And I literally have not seen them since April of last year. And, it's been challenging. It's been good, but it's been challenging. I love talking to them every day. And this person I've known for about 6 years. And they are definitely one of my biggest cheerleaders. They support me in artistic ways and in other ways. And anyway, you have that person who helps you to feel centered whenever things get a little challenging or confusing. And it's a blessing to have that person. So, um, that's my person. Um, I wanted to tell you that even if you are struggling right now, maybe you try to step out in faith, and maybe you looked up and things didn't go exactly the way you planned, and you might feel like you made a mistake. That's not necessarily so. It just means that things are different than what you intended. And when that happens, we just have to move differently. We have to maneuver. Don't fight against the current. Just simply flow with the wave. And that's what I've been doing. I've been flowing with the wave. As long as I have food to eat, a place to sleep, I have a roof over my head. And that's something that one of my family members told me. They were like, you know, pursue your dream, Tasha. It's not like you're ever going to be homeless, because, we're not going to allow you to be homeless. It's not like you're ever going to go hungry, because your family, you have so much family, we're not going to allow you to go hungry. And that's a blessing. I don't feel like everybody has that, but I do know that I have that. And, you know, that's something that I guess emboldens me to do this process. But maybe you don't always have that. And there have been times I've done things that I just stepped out in faith rather. When I moved, when I was first separated, because we were separated for about 2 years before we actually did the divorce and finalized things. It was maybe like about 2 years or something, because honestly, the first year I lived in the same town, and we had said that we would give it a year and see if we were going to come back together or whatever. But that's a whole nother story. Um, but anyway, that did not work. And so I had moved away, and I was away for probably about a year before I said, you know what, we just need to get this done. I thought it was going to cost a lot of money, and it didn't really cost as much money as I thought it was going to cost, because we weren't contesting. We didn't have any property to split. We didn't have, our children were grown. My daughter was already living with me, and she had graduated high school and everything by then. So it was a no contest divorce, and we were able to split the cost, and we were, good to go. So I'm saying all this to say, after that, I had already moved. I lived in the city, but there was something that was calling me to nature. I would dream about grass. Literally, I would dream about grass. I would dream about having space around me, because I felt like I needed space. In the city, there's always, people right next door. Everything's attached to you. It's row homes, it's this and that. And I just felt like I belonged someplace different. So I ended up moving up to rural Pennsylvania. I lived up in the mountains. And I felt so free. I felt so free. I felt so relaxed. And it was what I needed for a period of time. And for 10 years, I intentionally got a job with the school district because I wanted my time. I didn't want to work evenings and weekends, and I didn't want to have to vie for holidays with other people, because pretty much we were all over for the holidays. So therefore, you didn't have to have seniority. So I charted out that path, and that worked fine for the 10 years that I did it. And then it was like, just wasn't working anymore. Sometimes the very thing that gives us sustenance and comfort can be the very thing that starts to suffocate us or choke out the life because we've outgrown it. We've just simply outgrown it. Your mind has outgrown it. Your body has outgrown it. And for some reason now I long to see myself someplace warm. Like if I could do anything that I really wanted to do right now and money wasn't an object, I would move to Panama. I cannot tell you how many stories, how many videos I've watched, how much research I've done. The cost of living in Panama is so much cheaper. So a lot of expats, and in particular, Black expats have moved to Panama, and everyone talks about how much stress has been released from them, how they've come off of their medications because they just no longer needed them because they eat better, healthier, they feel better. The food there, the quality is so much better. The fruits and vegetables. So much of our food here is genetically modified. Even our fruits and vegetables, the meat that we eat, it's not raised in the healthiest conditions. A lot of the chicken and beef and stuff full of antibiotics and things like that. So there, they live a much healthier and peaceful life, and it's beautiful. And there's just something therapeutic about being near water. I don't care what anybody says. People say water has memory, and I believe that. I believe that. I believe that we're all connected to each other. I believe that we're connected to this earth. And I knew I needed to be near grass. I knew I needed to be more near nature and in the woods. And that was wonderful. And that was healing. But the climate where I live gets very, very cold. So that's something that I would like to change. I want to be in a warmer climate. Something about me and sundresses and sandals, and I just love it. So I'm pursuing those things that make me happy. The only thing about that is that I don't want to be so far from my children. But then I think, who knows? They may come and visit me and they may love it and they may end up moving to where I am. It could happen. It could happen. The cost of living is cheaper and stuff like that. So who knows? And hopefully, as I am charting out my path, I am emboldening you. I am emboldening my friends and family to do the same thing, because we were not put on this earth to work until we die. That's not the plan. That's not what most of us signed up for, but that is what most of us end up doing. In closing, I want to say I've watched some of the people around me, like when I come and I visit my daughter in the city where I am now, and I've gone outside sometimes and I've seen some of the seniors, struggling with different things. It could be simple things like just getting up the steps to their house, and I would go and help them. And then one day was another lady. She had a walker and she was trying to get to the post office. And I went and I talked to her and I asked her, if I could give her a ride. And at first she was just like, no, I'm fine. And I knew she wasn't fine, no. And I was like, well, where's the post office? Because she was moving very slowly. And this is probably someone who doesn't have family around. So I went and I got my car and I told my daughter, because we were just getting ready to go out to stores and stuff. And I said, hey, I'm going to give this lady a ride to the post office and bring her back. And then we can do, what we were going to do. And my daughter, she knows I'm like that. So she was fine with it. And we took the lady to the post office, but she didn't want me to wait for her. She refused me to wait for her and to bring her home. But it was fine, because at least I know she made it there okay. And who knows, she, I felt bad. I felt horrible leaving. I really did. But she refused to ride back with me. She was like, she wasn't going to do it. So, anyway, I say that to say we are all connected. So I can't see things like that and not try to do something, not try to help each other. And in the meantime, try to live my best life. And that's what I want you to do. Pursue your dreams, pursue your bliss. Don't put things on hold that you can do today. Start doing it. I knew I would never regret leaving the job to try to pursue something greater. But I knew I would regret never trying. I knew I would regret that. So that's why I did it. That's why I did it. So even though things didn't work out exactly the way that I planned, I feel peaceful. I feel happy. I feel like this life is a journey and it's an adventure. And we simply just keep trying to move forward in it. I love you today. I want you to live a happy life and a better life. And, keep pursuing your dreams. I'm just sharing because, who knows, you may be on your journey as well, and things might not look as rose colored as you like, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be on the path that you're on. So be encouraged today and have a great one. Bye-bye.